So basically, I finished Only Murderers in the Building. But your question, why has it took me this long, and why am I looking down? Because to the second question, my iPad's here, and I'm doing an update while I'm doing this. Most of my reviews are on one iPad, well, most of the reviews are on the other. So if you see here, I don't think you see that. That will be better. See? And this means, while one is loading, I can record the other. I don't know why. That was important, but I just mentioned it. But yeah. So I hold off watching this because I was watching with my mum, but because there wasn't time that both of us had together and we're doing one thing or the other, or wanted some time off, we didn't finish it. So I just finished it myself. It was... Season 3 was so different, in my opinion, because it felt like it felt like season 1 and season 2 were done together. And you can kind of tell that. I feel like you can kind of feel that these two were like, okay, we're proving these two forward. Because the main murder in season 2 is the first scene in season 1. But season 3's murder gets released at the end of season 2. And like with this one, which I want another season, there's another murder that happened at the end of season 3. I'm not going to say who, but legitimately, I would like to point out the fact that someone dies, I don't think should be... I feel like that should be like, someone died? God, well, it's a Tuesday. How the murder actually took part in this season, I thought was interesting. I thought how they did that was like really interesting, and the rift. The sort of like, because season 1 and season 2 you had that, you got to know them, and now they're sort of like getting into like butting heads, and it's so interesting. One person knows one fact. You don't always hear facts repeated. One person knows one thing, and then the other person knows the other, and then you slowly get these 3 people know separate things, know separate sides, and think on separate people. And I think it's absolutely insane, the amount of confusion that is. This belongs to this person, but this thing said by this person, and it bounces from one person to the other because you don't know what's the important. Is what that person says important? Is this object important? Is this conversation important? And I feel like that is just making it more and more insane. That's the reason why I love this show. It's insane, it's cool, it's awesome, it's mad, and I love it for it. When I watched season 1, I was like, oh. Like, I sort of like riff on murder mysteries, and it actually is now becoming still a comedy, still has its jokes, but a legit detective series. That's the one thing which I didn't suspect, because a bit of a spoiler for season 1, but going all the way back to season 1, the thing that got all of these 3 people connected was one person's podcast of a murder mystery on when the power went out. Then they all go back, and then look who's there. And the one thing I like is that I thought, and this is mostly me being wrong, and I'm glad that here's a wrong fact, and here's them slowly proving otherwise. It's insane, it's awesome, and it's just overall, I think, really fun. Seeing them, like, looking at things and becoming legitimately detectives. I think it's amazing, it's awesome, go and watch the series.